Okay, so I've come to understand that you may not fully understand from the last class how to plot your psychological levels. So we're going to be talking about how to plot your psychological levels again today, and then we're going to be finishing with what we have, which is the which is how to know when price is changing from a support level to a resistance level on your charts. And in the next class, we'll be talking about your Fibonacci. As if you're just coming in, finding it yourself. So first thing we do whenever we come and looking to go to the market, we go to our chatting platform, which is tradingview.com. So tradingview.com, like you all understand, is a chatting platform where we, do our analysis and all of that. So we're going to go into one of the currency pairs which you have here. Take okay, we have XAUSD, which is gold spots US dollar. So gold literally. So right. Okay. Okay, good. So we'll be discussing firstly how to plot your psych levels, psychological levels, and how to identify when your support level turns to resistance, and how to identify when your resistance level turns to support. Now, now we all understand that our support level is where we look to take our buy entries from. Support level, we look to take our buy entries from. Resistance level, we look to take our sell entries from. So support and resistance level are levels for entries, right? They are levels for entries. So now there are so many support and resistance level on whenever you come to the chart. But how do you identify significant ones? Meaning that support and resistance level that will hold whenever price get there, the price is going to respect those levels. That's where your psychological level comes in. Psychological level are zones. Levels are zones that hold liquidity. Liquidity is money. So now support and resistance level that hold money in the markets are your psychological levels, right? So we are zones that hold liquidity in the markets. Now, most of the times, these levels are where the big banks, the people which their money really move the markets, tend to place their support and resistance, like meaning their buys and sales positions, buys and sales orders there, because they hold like they have money there at those zones. So that's why it is important you know how to identify. So now, one of the things you should know is that support and psychological levels, which are the significance of a support and resistance level. They give off what's it called? They can be identify cycle level, am I right? Cycle level, can be identified as whole numbers in price of the particular pair a trader is looking at. A trader is looking at or watching. Meaning that these psychological levels now, they can be identified as whole numbers on your, what's it called, on your charts, whatever pair you're trading, the price at ease, you have to like sum it up to a whole number to identify it. And then psych levels are a difference of 50 pips to 100 pips. Meaning that after rounding up your, what's it called, your current price in the market, now the difference between the current psychological level to the next one will be 50 pip difference or 100 pip difference. So for example, let's go on the chart. So now we see here on this right hand side, right? The current price that we have there is 2633 2633.3300. Now, if you go and check the previous video, I talked about us what's it called? I talked about how to calculate pips in the market. So now, how to calculate pips for every currency pair. So now, what is the whole number of this current price? Let's say the current price is 32633.330 as 26,033. The whole number of that 26,033 is going to be 26,030. So that our psychological level will be 26,000.00. Now, that's where our psychological level is. Look at it. When price came to this level, what did he do? He tested it, right? It came here later in the future. What did he do? He respected it. If we check backward, you can see that this line, this purple line that I draw, price is always coming back to like test it. You can see here, price tested it here, tested this level here, tested it again, right? Came back, tested it again, broke it. You can see how price is respecting it. Now, like I said, we already know that, okay, this is the whole number, 26,030. The next level is going to be 26,035, meaning it's a 50 pip difference. If you go and check over the video that I talked about last time, I taught you guys how to calculate pips. So now, once you know how to calculate the pip, then you use a 50 pip difference range. So see it from this first level here to this next level right here. What can we see? It's a difference of 50 pips, right? So whatever number you're trading, right? Whatever currency pair you're trading, you have to round up that currency pair to its whole number. Now I've showed you how to like calculate it here. Now from the current whole number, which is 26,035, right? The next one will be 26,040 as another 50 pip difference. 50 pip, let's plot it there, 26,040. 26,040, right? 50 pip difference again. Consider whenever price comes there, there's always a reaction. So psychological levels, whenever price gets there, they hold liquid because they hold money in the market, which is liquidity. Those levels are always used for entry and exit zones. They are your entry and exit zone. Now, this purple line is our psychological level. So whenever you see me, I send out a trade and then you see the purple line on my screen. That's where I'm going to place my entry at. So now look at this purple line that's right here. Look at whenever price came there, like there was always a reaction. There's always a reaction there. Price is always testing it. Whenever price gets there, price will test it before price probably breaks it and use it again in the other direction. Consider as working. So now these psychological levels, this is how to plot them on gold. So then we're going to show you how to do it on GBP USD. So GBP USD, like I said, it is you identify your, what's it called? Your psychological levels by whole numbers. So now let's look at this. What's the current price here? We have 1.27418. What is going to be the whole number here? 1.27500. 1.27500. That's our psychological level. 1.27500. Right? So now, what can we see? When price came to this zone right here, it tested it, right? When price came to this zone here, it tested it. Now I gave out a trade on the group on last week for a buy setup I was looking at right here. Now when price came to this level, we respected it. So this whole setup got invalidated because of the psychological level where price came to respect. So if we move back past times, we can see that whenever price gets there, there's always a reaction. What can we see here? Price respected all these points here. It came, you see that zone, it was touching it, respecting it. So now this our current market price, our current psychological level, after rounding it up from the whole number, we now have our new psychological level will be 50 pip difference away from the current whole number. So now what is 50 pip difference here? 1.27500. Next one will be 1.27800. Right, that would be our new psychological level. 1.27800. 1.27800. Right? This is it. 1.27800. Now this is it. So on GPS, how do you calculate it? Now you look for the current price, right? You look for the current price. And I taught you guys that you round up on pairs that have your US dollar. You round it up by the fourth. You start calculating your 1 pip by the like fourth decimal place. Now the current price, if we have to check it out, the current price, which is 1.27418, right? If we start counting from our 1 pip from the fourth decimal place, we know that okay, if you are looking for price to be sorry, if you're looking for price to be at a whole number, we know that this fourth decimal place is 1 pip. This third decimal place is 10 pip. So the whole number of this 10 pip will be what? 50. Like it has to be like a 50%. Do you understand? So it has to be like 5. 5 will be there. So it will be 1.275. Now 5 will be there. You understand? This one is calculated in what? This was calculated in 10 pips, in tens of pips, meaning that if you had to add like 10 pips to this current price, 10 pips, we are going to be having our new price will be 1.275518, right? But now if you're rounding it up, it's going to be 1.27500, right? And that's why we came about this psychological level. So now if you were to minus 50 pips from this current price, we know now, okay, it's the third decimal place. If you minus 50 pips from it, 1.27500 minus 50, 50 pips, because we start calculating from the third decimal place, you're going to have 1.2700, right? And that will be our new psychological level. So you go on your charts, you plot it out, and then after plotting it out like this, then use your price range tool, this tool right here, to like check it if it's 50 pip. You can see it here, 50 pip difference. You can see whenever price gets there, there's always a reaction. Price always respect it. So even for you guys that still don't get it, I advise that you first go and learn how to calculate pips. Once you learn how to calculate pips, they understand that okay, you have to round it up to like something between 500 and 1,000. Meaning it's a 50 pip difference. Meaning that everything you're doing has to be in a 50 pips different range. So that's how you start to calculate it. You understand? So like that and like that. And I think we're done with this what's it called? The whole psychological level stuff. Right. So did you guys understand? Please unmute yourself and let me know. Do you guys understand? or use the chat box, whatever. I just want to, I want us to like move forward. I want us to move forward. I want us to grow because we've been behind schedule. We've been behind what we're supposed to do. So now the continuation, let me see. Okay, you understand. Good, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. So with our next topic for today, which I wanted us to really deal with, is to finish the whole support understand level. Understanding it is how to let me check XAU. I think I dealt with now continuation of how to like first of all, I said we're going to talk about how to plot your psychological levels. I just talk about that. And now we have to deal with how to identify when your support levels turn to resistance and how to identify your resistance levels when they turn to your support levels. So now we know that support and resistance levels, support is to buy, resistance is to sell. But how would you identify it in your trend? So now your support and resistance levels are to be identified according to the trend you're trading, right? So in an uptrend, we know that uptrend creation of series of higher highs and higher lows, right? This is an uptrend, right? Now, in an uptrend, this would be our low. This would be our high. This would be our higher low. This would be our higher high, higher low, higher high, and so forth, and so on and so forth. Higher low, and like that. Now, we know that our higher lows are points where we look to buy from. Like price will have to come back. Let's use this for an example. This one's the higher low that I just marked out, right? This will be our what? This will be our higher high right here. Our higher high will be right here. Sorry, the text tool is not showing up. Let me do it very well. Okay, this will be our higher high, right? This will be, uh, excuse me. Okay, this will be our higher low. Right now, this will be our current higher high. Now we know that when price comes from this higher high, we are looking for price to come back a little bit to a zone here to create the higher low and to buy from. Now, that higher low that price is going to create now is going to be our what? It's going to be our support level. So any higher low you see in the market can be identified or said to be your support level. That's where you buy from, right? Right? Because in an uptrend, you do what you only need to buy. That's the rule. You have to stick with the rule. The trend is your friend, like they said. So now, whenever you are expecting price to come and make a higher low, that means you are starting to look for buys in the market. Now, in an uptrend, we have what we call support levels and resistance level. In an uptrend, yeah, we have support level and resistance level there. But the only level that we are concerned with as traders, because of the trend that we are looking at, is the support level, meaning that we have to understand when we are going to enter a trade based on what level is there. You understand? So now, I how to the how to identify when a resistance level is turning to support and when the support level is turning to resistance also good. So now I've showed you what how support levels are in an uptrend. Let me show you how resistance level are in a downtrend. So we move into a change of support, resistance to support and support to resistance. So in a downtrend, a creation of you know highs and lows, lower high and lower lows, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and like that, right? So now what this points is what we call our what? Here we call it our high. We call the next level our what? Our low. We call the next level our lower high. We call the next level our lower low. Or the next level lower high, lower low. So now where do we find our resistance level in a downtrend? We find it at your lower highs. Your lower highs are levels where you look for your resistance level. Why? Because now let's use this for an example. This is the current lower high, right? After price created the lower high, it went back in the initial direction, which is downward because in the downtrend, right? Now it created a what? A lower low. Now price is supposed to come back here somewhere here, up here, to like, what's it called, to find resistance before it goes back down. So now it's created a new what? A new lower high, right? So now our resistance levels are above, they are above price. Resistance levels are always above price. The resistance is plotted above price, right? Your support is plotted below price, right? Look at this. Above is where we found resistance. Above is where we found resistance, right? Above found resistance. Now above found resistance. Now our lower highs in a downtrend can be identified as, our lower highs in a downtrend can be identified as our resistance levels, while our higher lows in an uptrend can be identified as our support levels. Now, the question may come in like, what about our higher highs in an uptrend? Meaning that all these higher highs, what are they? Now, these higher highs in an uptrend are they are our resistant levels, right? These are our resistance, right? These are our resistance. This high now, price resisted price back down. Like the market resisted price back down before it created the support level. So now this high now, after price created support here, went high, created the high, created the resistance level, right? It came back down, created the support level, went back up, created the resistance level. So in an uptrend, right, price creates support and resistance. But what do we do in an uptrend? We are looking to buy, meaning that we only enter below price, meaning we're only entering at a support level. I believe you understand. Same thing in a downtrend too. Now, the question may arise, these lower lows, what levels are they? They are our support levels. You can see that it's just a vice versa thing. You are just using it inversely, trading with the direction. Now, these lows, right, are our support. Now, you can see that they are below. These lower highs are above. So it's still the same thing. But funny enough, the rule tells us in a downtrend, you are looking to, you are looking to sell. So you are selling above price. In a downtrend, in an uptrend rather, in a downtrend, you are looking to sell above price, meaning that your resistance level what is above price. Now, this tool that I just brought out to draw this line is our trend line. You can see now our trend line is there. You know the trend, which is a downtrend. Our trend line is plotted perfectly. Then we know that, okay, we are looking to buy above price, meaning that if I extend this trend line, to the future and I plot this stuff like this, price I just come back to respect that trend line. Now, as price respected, the price touch it, when that okay, that level they are looking to sell from is our what? Is our resistance level. We'll now be looking to place our short position here like this. Then we'll sell off, right? Because the trend is telling us is a downtrend, and the level is at it's currently above. You get me? So now that's what we do in a downtrend. So now in an uptrend, we're looking to buy below price like this. Now I've plotted my trend line below price. Now price has come back, to like test that trend line. So now when price comes back down like this to test this trend line again, we are expecting that okay, now price has found support at that point, right? Now that's our support. Our support is found. Cool. So how do you understand when price is changing from a support to a resistance level, a resistance to support? So now let me clean this off. Have you guys understood so far what I've been explaining? Have you understood so far? Please let me know in the chat box so I can go forward with what I have here. Oh, let me take this back. Have you guys understood so far? Let me know in the chat box, please. Okay, good, good. I'm glad you're following. So this one I will explain now is like a briefing of what I talked about last week. But now, what I'm supposed to talk about today is how to identify the changes. So now in an uptrend, after the Emmanuel said you understand, good, good. Now I'm good to hear that too. So you know, I've showed you how to identify a resistance level and a support level in an up and a downtrend. So now how do you know when it's changing trend? Now, in an uptrend, we are seeing a series of higher highs and higher lows, right? Now, and again, we know that okay, price, or you know, for you to know that price is in a continuous uptrend, price has to keep taking out all these highs, right? Has to taking out all these highs, take out the high. So now after price takes out the high, what does it do? It comes back. Now, this highs that price is at before is a support level, is a resistance level rather, a resistance level, a resistance level, right? A resistance level from my explanation that I just give to you guys. It's a what? It's a resistance level, resistance level. So now, what do price do always? Now, this as price give us a resistance level. Before going up in its initial direction, right? It had to break that level. Now, after breaking that level, it now comes back again to test it like this. Now, when it comes back, when it breaks above it like this, let's say from this low like this, comes back to test that same level. Now, that level have just changed to a support level. Price has used that former resistance level as a support level. See it now. This will be our new support zone. This is how to identify when price has changed from a resistance to support level in a what's it called in an uptrend. So now what do we call this type of stuff? We call it a break and retest. I'm going to show you guys here. Let's look at this current, what's it called? This current structure. So now we know that okay, this will be our what? This will be our higher low, right? This will be our what? This will be our higher high. This higher low now will be our what? Will be our support level, right? That's where price came to come and find support, right? So now this is what this will be our resistance. This higher will be our resistance, right? So now as price created that, if price now before price goes in the that it has to break that level. So once it breaks it like that, then you see that price later comes back to that same level to test it. There's a potential that that level now, that resistance, former resistance level, because it has been broken out of, can now become a support level. Very easy. And vice versa. And vice versa in a downtrend. In a downtrend, price is moving below, creating series of lower highs and lower lows, right? And now, you know that all these our lower highs are what? All these lower highs are our resistance level. Lower highs, they are what? They are our resistance. And all these lower lows, they are what? They are our support levels. They are our support levels, right? So now, price has to break that level. Now, this support level, price broke it. You can see. Now, support level, once it's broken, price may come back in the future to use it to identify and to be used as a resistance level. Meaning that price just changed this support level here to a resistance level. Let me show you a chart illustration. So it does not seem I'm saying gibberish. So now let's see this together. Let me give us a clean and clear chart. So now what can we see here? We are in a what? We are in an uptrend, right? We are in an uptrend currently. So price is an uptrend like this, right? Price in an uptrend, creating series of higher highs and higher lows, right? So now what can we see? This point here, this price above like this is our what? Is our resistance level. This zone like this is our resistance level. If you extend it to the future, consider price broke it with green candle like this, came back, tested it. That's a resistance level now. That after broken, turns to a what? To a support level right here. Right? Same goes for everything. Let's look at this current trend downward. Let's look at this current trend downward, right? Now, price is in a downtrend. I'll give you an example of an option. Price in a downtrend like this, creating series of lower highs and lower lows. What do we see price do here? At this point here, this was our lower low, right? This lower low points. Now, if we extend it, we can see that price came back after breaking it, after breaking below it, created like this, came here, broke below it, tested it again. Now it turned to resistance. Same thing always. Look at this support level here, where market bought from. This level, where all this green candle came in. If you extend it to the future, what can you see? At that support level, this support level right here, got to turn to a what? A resistance level. After price came to break it, tapped it first touch, second touch, third touch, respected it. After turning its support level to resistance right here, respected it, broke it again. In the future, if you extend it again, it turn into what is a support level. Are you guys get what I'm saying? Please let me know in the chat box. Let me know in the chat box. Because we have like 5 minutes left for our class today to be done. Let me know in the chat box. So before I get to my answer, now in an uptrend, when price is moving like this, whenever price takes out a higher high, let me see. Please re-explain. Okay. Let me take it one more time for you. So now in an uptrend, we know the price is creating higher highs and higher lows, right? Right, price creating highs and higher lows. And we know that all these our higher lows levels, our support levels, meaning that that's what we are looking to like buy from, right? And all these higher highs, all these highs here are our resistance level where sellers come into the market. But we are not looking to sell, which we don't care about this level until it is broken, right? Because this is a level, this is a resistance level. If you extend it to the future now, you can see that after markets went up, it came back to that same level that was previously resistance to break to use it as support and go back up. Same thing here too. If you extend it to the future, what can we see? After price started from this what's it called? This point here, went up, came back down, use it as what's it called? Use it as support. Use the resistance level right here. Use it as support now. Now this will be our what? Our new resistance level, right? When price was going up like this, it came back, use it as what? Use it as our support. Same thing in a downtrend, right? In a downtrend, we are looking to sell. We are looking for sales, right? So if price should break a support level, it can potentially become a resistant level. Now we know that in a downtrend, we have series of lower highs and lower lows. Right now, our lower highs are where we find our resistance level. Lower high are where we find our resistance level. Our lower low is where we find our support level in a downtrend. But what do we care about? What level do we care about in a downtrend? We care about resistance level only. But now, how do you identify when to use a previous support level that has just become resistant? Or how do you identify that when the previous level has become resistant? Now, we know that all these lower lows are our support level, right? They are our support zones. So So now price initial move is downward. So if now the market should break it, meaning move past that level, right? Move past it, it could potentially come back and test that level before going in the initial direction. This is why you guys need to study. If you go and read that PDF that I sent to you, like I told you to do assignment, they're supposed to this is supposed to be so very easy for you to understand. So let me show you guys in another chart illustration. Another chart illustration. Look at this uptrend that we are looking at together from here. High, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, right? Good. Now look at this level. This is our higher high, and our resistance level is there, right? If you plot that at your resistance level, you can see that when extended into the future, when extended, price came back after breaking it from this point, like this. Price came back, use it as support. Our resistance level is above. Again, price broke it from this support level, broke it, tested it, use it as support. Went up, came back, tested it again, used it as support. Now using that resistance level as support. Same thing as what's it called in a downtrend. Whenever price breaks a support level moving downward, it could potentially become what? A resistance point. Let's use this for an example. Let's use this one for an example. Look at price. Price is creating series of what? Series of lower highs and lower lows. When price broke this support